Okay, so I sort of kind of did the thing that I guess I said I would not ever do because I'm a big fucking liar and my feet stink. So, yeah, to my town, Kingston, New York. They started doing these like drive-in movie things over out at this place out like in Kingston / Lake Katrine. And it's it's an old IBM complex. It used to be fucking huge, and it made the county bunches of money. But now it's shut down, and people are renting bits and pieces of it to do shit, including a big insurance company, a big bank, a lot of small things too. But anyway, the person who owns the complex is like not doing anything with it. It's not really generating much tax revenue. Anyway, that's just backstory on Tech City and Kingston or Lake Katrine, New York. At any rate, they do these drive-in movies where they have a big thing draped over the side of the building. I can't tell if it's cloth or if it's like an actual giant screen. And so they're showing drive-in movies every Friday and Saturday, I believe. I think it might have started a week or two ago, but I didn't hear about it, which is weird because the radio station at which I work supplies the sound. They broadcast it over FM radio. And so you can sit in your car and you can have your key in the first position and basically listen. Or you could, if you didn't have my car, in which the battery just kind of dies. Like, you know how you can like leave your car in that first position and listen to the radio for like a few hours, like if your battery's doing, aces, or, the computer system's not draining it for some unknown reason. That's very problematic, but oh well, you're paying for the car for the next couple of years. Anyway, so I couldn't really do that too much. I would have to, turn my car off, turn it on, but the radio station also supplied speakers, so the sound was being broadcast, so I couldn't really get every single word of every single line, but I sure as hell got like 99.95% of it, I'd say. And the things that I missed were more like a little bit of a, every time Ray said something quietly, angsty and dramatic, that came with a pause. Okay, so I saw the damn thing, and now to be fair, I said I would not pay to see this movie. And except for, the gas to get there and the gas to run my car intermittently over the course of about 2.5 hours, I guess I really did. And let's face it, with the way I like to drive, I could have burned the same amount of gas and for the speed I drive, I could have literally burned that same amount of gas in like 20 minutes. So if I had been driving, probably less, depending on the road. Yeah, state road, I could have done that in 20 minutes, that 2 hours of intermittent gas usage. County roads, 25 minutes. At any rate, so I see Rise of Skywalker. I don't know, I think I should have probably mentioned that at the beginning of this damn recording. Anyway, Rise of Skywalker. Okay, so I told myself I wasn't going to see it because as wonderful as I thought The Force Awakens was, and it was promising. The lead was a person of color, but also it was a woman, and then there was Poe, who was kind of like edging into lead territory, plus old characters that I was going to say love, but honestly, from the original trilogy, which I saw the original trilogy, all of it, plus the Ewok adventures. Oh my god, I love the Ewoks. Don't even get me started. If they fucked with the Ewoks, there was going to be some bloodshed at that drive-in. And the same for Chewbacca, because, like, of that original trilogy group, the only people I liked were the Ewoks and Chewbacca. I couldn't stand Luke. I couldn't stand Han. I couldn't stand Leia. I kind of liked Vader, because he's a really good bad guy. I was curious about him. I was like, why are you so evil, dude? Like, chill out, dude. So evil. Why? But yeah, so in Force Awakens, we get those characters, and I actually like them because they've mellowed those obnoxious personalities somewhat, and Chewbacca's still there. There's no Ewoks, but there's BB-8, who I like way more than I ever liked R2 and C-3PO, so, there's that. But yeah, and then in 2, all the characters of color are sidelined. Such a bullshit thing to do. Rian Johnson can get fucked. I'm not even gonna mince words. In fact, I'm not mincing words, but that's me being kind compared to some of the things I have said about him. Just the sidelining of characters of color so they can uplift the whole tragic, air quotes, backstory of mind rape, McGenocide. You know, I was like, once I had time to really think about it and notice what they had done, they took Finn, they took Poe, and even to an extent Rey, who they turned into a swooning maiden who was half in love with her mind rapist, the guy who committed genocide and who imprisoned her and tried to kill her friends, all of that good stuff. I had issues with the second one. In fact, the only redeeming feature of the second film for me was the bit that everyone hates regarding Luke Skywalker, Ben Solo, and the reason Ben Solo said fuck off to the light. I actually thought that was the best thing that Johnson, presuming that it was his idea and not the rest of the room of creatives, I thought that was the best thing and the only good thing he did in the second film. You know, it was Shakespearean. That was like some King Lear, Macbeth, Hamlet level, like, you know, just any of the Henrys, the Richards, the King John. Oh my God. I was, after that, frankly, I was very surprised that happened. And I was like, maybe the rest of this film will not lick Harry donkey dick. I was wrong about that. You know, sometimes films have that one good scene and all around it is just donkey dick licking. So, okay. But I thought that was actually an amazing turn, and it gave the second movie and the rest of the trilogy some depth that I thought it really needed. And for that alone, I was like, ugh. But I did walk away from Star Wars. I walked away from the fandom. I was like, hey, that one good Shakespearean turn does not erase. It doesn't erase erasure. And I was unforgiving of that. I still kind of am. I do not forgive Rian Johnson. I don't forgive J.J. Abrams for letting it go that far. Him and his bullshit. Lens flare. You know, go lens a flare, you know. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So I figured this was free. I might as well see it, get some kind of closure. Close this chapter of my life that has basically, Jesus Christ, what the hell is that? Oh, it's a truck. I'm sitting in my car because I just had feelings and thoughts and I needed to record them. I stopped on the way home. So yeah, I just wanted some closure on this thing that's literally been a part of my life since I was 3. I think I saw the first Star Wars movie. It came out in 76, 77. I'm sometimes bad with numbers. I saw that, I think, for the first time when I was like 3. And it was probably because one of my uncles, the one who let me watch all the violent shit when he was babysitting me, you know, when he was still dating his now ex-wife. But yeah, I would watch whatever they watched, and they weren't watching Romper Room. So yeah, before I was 5, I had seen Terminator, I had seen the Star Wars movies, I saw the original Friday the 13th, I saw 2 of the Halloweens, I believe, maybe just 1, I'm not sure. I know Donald Pleasance was in it, but I think he was in all of them until he died. R.I.P. He was a really good actor. I loved him in Prince of Darkness. John Carpenter knew how to use a Donald Pleasance, I will say that. He just, great character actor. Always good at what he did. So, I've been seeing Star Wars since 1983. And honestly, the first movie I actually ever understood from Star Wars was, yes, you've guessed it, Ewoks. It was the Ewok movie. And then the second one, oh my God, the second one had Wilford Brimley. Holy shit. It's like, if you want to make beetle traps, you know, put Ewoks and Wilford Brimley in there, and fuck, if you had a pizza, I'm never leaving. You'll get sick of the sight of me before I go. Speaking of sick of the sight of me, this is running up on 10 minutes almost. So anyway, feelings, Rise of Skywalker. I'm going to try to sum it up because I just kind of got to say it. It doesn't need to be long, but I think it helped having a black woman director because she didn't give the colors of character as short a shrift as Rian Johnson and even J.J. Abrams did. And Lord knows, George Lucas in his heyday, don't even get me fucking started with Jar Jar Binks. Fuck me. They did better. I saw the token lesbian kiss. I nearly blinked and missed that shit. It was some elderly woman and somebody in an orange pilot suit. I think, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell. Everybody was either wearing pilot orange or like, on planet grays, greens, and browns. Everybody looked the same. But, okay, some good things. Oh my God, Finn's hair. He looks sexy with that hair. Keep that hair up, John Boyega. I too hate racism so very much. Good on you, bro. Poe, it's like, I will say this about the director. She took the pile of shit that Rian Johnson and George Lucas left her, and J.J. Abrams. She took that shit and moved it well closer to Shinola. It is not yet Shinola. We'll see what other people do, but I'm glad that Disney pulled its head out of its ass and decided, hey, we maybe don't want to lose these demographics of non-white and only straight people, and maybe we should do something to represent them so that they feel like they exist in a galaxy far, far away. So I think that, considering that she probably had to inch, she could not just sledgehammer this stuff home. She had to inch, and I think she did it with a deft hand, where it felt natural, and it was like, Rey had her spotlight. I mean, in part, that's kind of how that had to be, but you can do that without sidelining other characters. The stuff they did with Leia was amazing, and I think I cried in all of her scenes. I was like, she is my princess. I don't care if she's Gerald, she's my princess. And this is from someone who did not like Leia at all until basically The Force Awakens. I didn't like any of them from the original, except for Chewie. And Yoda, of course. Yoda is Fozzie Bear. So, of course I loved Yoda. He was Fozzie Bear. Anyway. Okay, so that was great. Oh my God, whatever those righty things were on the destroyer, instead of the what you call them, that they were gonna jam, it's like they're not using the whatever the things are. They're using the wildebeest that look kind of like horses and camels and unicorns. That was epic. They totally stole that from Black Panther. Let me see, what else? About the kiss at the end, I just thought it was stupid and unnecessary. I mean, they were a forced dyad, so the idea of them kissing or anything else like that, the Reylos, because I'm never going to be cool with pairing someone up with their, I guess for all intents and purposes, rapist. Even though it wasn't physical, it was mental. I actually think mental is way worse, but that Luke Laura shit does not fly in 2020. That shit was cool on General Hospital in the 1900s, whenever the hell that happened. I think it was the late 70s, early 80s. But, Luke and Laura, General Hospital, look it up. It is not cool. It's beyond problematic. And so that's why I find any idea of Reylo and I don't care if he became Ben again. Sometimes you do shit that's so bad you don't get to go back to who you were and the old life you had. And I think genocide that can only be spoken of in terms of galaxies of planets full of billions, I think that is definitely well into that point. If you can be Ted Bundy and not get second chances, and he only killed under 100 women that we know of, I think Kylo Ren or Ben Solo needs to just... Well, I think his comeuppance was too quick, but I think it's also good riddance, because I kind of think it's okay, all you Skywalkers, y'all need to get the fuck on, because this is crazy shit. Every generation, it's lunatics and prophets and whatnot, and y'all just need to go lay down for a while and just lay down, mellow out. And so that I'm cool with that. I don't actually have a problem with his redemption arc. I don't know that he paid the price for the things he did, but I don't disapprove of the redemption arc, and I don't disapprove of the way the director took the Force dyad thing. I actually thought that was really cool, because it really hinted at the kind of bond that's deeper than I want to share a steamy quote marks kiss with you at the end of a movie. It was more like I don't even want to say siblings. It sounds like it feels like it was something deeper than that. I don't know. I know with Buddhism, they have people that are tied together by by their karma and by their dharma. So it felt kind of like that. Like, they both came from these unique sets of circumstances. They both lost parents at a very impressionable age. They had the force in them tugging them in directions, and I don't know. I do actually like that. I think that part of the storyline was salvaged as much as it could have been. So overall, solid filmmaking. I thought the effects were understated and cool. There was nothing that was like lens flare, you know, like when they're on that planet with all the sea where they find, you know, Jana, I can't remember her name. I liked her hair. But yeah, when they're on that planet, it's like I would have loved to see J.J. Abrams' lens flare just for old time's sake. That would have been completely unnecessary and stupid. So it would have fit. I don't know. I mean, I think, I'm not going to say any one film, no matter who the director is going to fish Star Wars and the fandom out of the trash for me. I have been too bruised and too stabbed in the fucking back, the face, the side, the heart, the ribs, the toes, like the hair. Star Wars has done people of color and so many minority groups so dirty that one movie's not going to salvage that, but I would say they have made an adequate start, and they should keep this shit up. They really need to keep it up, or they're just going to become irrelevant. It's just going to be like a few like white fanboys and white fangirls that like mind rape and whatnot, and you know, flashy laser swords. And Ewoks, because if you don't like Ewoks, you have a heart of fucking stone. Wicket. I mean, come on, Wicket! Anyway, I shall move on from the Ewoks. But Wilford Brimley, though, come on. And Sean Phillips played a witch in the second one. I mean, Sean freaking Phillips, like, she's like isn't she a dame? Like, in the UK? I'm pretty sure she got damed. I don't know if it was like the highest level of dame, but I'm pretty sure she's got like a lady or a ma'am or a your graciousness before her name just for her acting. So yeah, Ewoks, you know, don't stare down your nose at the 2 Ewoks movies. There should have been 5. If there could be 12 of this shit with the Skywalkers fucking up galaxies and universes, I think they could have made a 3rd Ewoks film just for the closure. Because I'm all about the closure. Okay, so that was mostly me rambling this whole thing, but I don't know. I think that eventually in time, like if there's another movie, Star Wars movie, I haven't seen anything from Star Wars that has come out, I guess since TLJ. I didn't see Solo because it had that bland, uninteresting person playing Han Solo. Say what you will about Han Solo as played by Harrison Ford. Annoying as fuck, but memorable. Like, you would never have to go, oh, is that something Han Solo said? Oh, who's that talking? Is that Han Solo? Yet every clip I saw the kid they had playing him as a younger man, he was so bland and uninteresting and unattractive. No, he wasn't unattractive, nor was he attractive. He was very forgettable. Like, I honestly can't picture his face right now. I cannot hear his voice. I just felt no Han Solo-ness. I was like, you know, if this is you acting like Han Solo, you need to go back to school, because first off, Han Solo has a personality. And even though you are not handsome or interesting looking, if you have personality, you can carry a goddamn role, no matter how gorgeous you're supposed to be for that role. He doesn't have the looks. He didn't seem to have the personality or talent or whatever kind of gravitas it is that Harrison Ford brought to Han Solo, so I did not see that. I saw Rogue One. Rogue One is the shit. It had its problems representation-wise, but overall, Rogue One was like chef's kiss. And not just in comparison to the other films, just period. Of all the films, I would have to say that Rogue One is my favorite. And, you know, it's just... Anyway, that's the only part of the fandom I'm actually still kind of in and reading, and only a very few authors. In fact, I think it's down to 2. And, yeah, you know, you give me my Bodhi Rook, my Cassian Andor, and my K2, so just, yeah, and then, you know, just jog the fuck on, son. So, yeah. No, and Spirit Assassin, of course. I didn't even have to say it. It's not that I forgot. It just goes without saying. So yeah, I mean, they're a solid core, and I guess Jin's okay. I mean, she's all right. I like that she was in jail. I'm like, you go. Yeah. Krennic. That fucking guy. And Galen Erso. Oh, man. As much as I like him, he did work for the Empire at one point willingly. He had to fake his own death because he was in so deep. Him and his wife. So I don't know who the fuck they were before whatever it was made them run screaming, but they kind of remind me of Trump supporters. It's like, oh my God, it took all this horrible shit to realize that he's evil, but he is, we should flee. And it's like, this is 10, 15 years after everyone else in the galaxy's like, holy shit, these guys are awful, they're gonna kill us all. So, past couple of years, my sympathy for Galen Erso and for Lyra is, I don't know, sometimes having kids changes people, so maybe when they have their kid, they're like, oh shit, we can't raise her in this. This is awful. And it's like, well, why couldn't you have realized that when other people had their kids who were then maybe, killed by the people you work for, if not by you? Anyway, that's just above and beyond, but overall, Rogue One is an amazing film. Yeah. And then coming off of that to then see The Last Jedi was like, having a really good turkey sandwich, and then for the next meal, someone offers you a plate of shit that's also crawling with maggots. But then there's the glass of ice water to help wash it down. The ice water is the Shakespearean twist I mentioned about Ben Solo and Luke and why Ben left the light. That was the glass of ice water. But you know what? Between sips, I was still eating a plate full of maggoty shit. Didn't have any of that with Rise of Skywalker. I thought it was solid filmmaking. Script wasn't the best dialogue I've ever heard. The pacing was a little uneven, but considering again that she's working with a plate full of maggoty shit, the director, she held it down. I mean, I couldn't have done as well considering what I would have been stepping into, like, oh, holy fuck Christ. Sweet Lord. Even Mark Hamill was like about The Last Jedi as much as he could be, with contracts and everything. So, yeah, Rise of Skywalker, I don't know. I'm not going to say it has saved that fandom for me, because that is too soon to say. I just saw the movie, Jesus, it was just over like an hour ago, maybe less. But I will try to keep an open mind and heart, because this is actually, it touched my heart in all the ways that I wish that any of the films had done before this, and that I know The Last Jedi never will and never would. I've only seen it once. I have no interest in seeing it again. Yeah, this was a start, and they should keep that shit up, because it takes a long time to build loyalty, but you can lose loyalty really quickly. Like, if it's the wrongest thing, you could lose a lifetime of loyalty in a split second. And Star Wars has been treading that line since the beginning with not having people of color, and then adding tokens where it's like, oh, this random general, this random mayor, could we just have people in the background? Maybe they go into a shop and, hey, that guy is Asian. Just have it look like the world looks. I know it's in a galaxy far away, but have different people doing different shit. It doesn't have to be a Mace Windu every 3 movies or something where he has to do a thing that's really special because he's Mace Windu and he's the one black Jedi and he gets a purple lightsaber. Just make some shopkeepers. Start little. You do not have to have one black general in a trilogy, or one black mayor, Lando, or they tried with the one black stormtrooper and Rian Johnson shit all over that. So yeah, they should really keep this up. They really need to